My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a divorce valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. I work with business owners and entrepreneurs in every stage of the divorce process, whether in mediation or litigation. There are so many questions and myths about what happens in a divorce when you own a business. So here are some of the top valuation issues every business owner should know before you file for divorce. One of the things I hear most often from business owners is that this business would be worth nothing without me. I'm the business. I have all the customer relationships. If he or she wants the business, they can have it, and I'll just go and start a new one. So almost all business owners think that the business would be worth nothing without them. And maybe the business owner really is the primary salesperson or driver of that business, or maybe they have all the relationships with all of the clients, or maybe they just have some special training or some sort of proprietary process that makes them unique. I think that most business valuation people understand that the business is heavily reliant upon the main owner, especially in small businesses. But that usually does not mean that the business is worth nothing if the owner steps away. And this is definitely true in divorce court. The judge is not going to assume that the business is worth nothing when the same business has provided a significant lifestyle for the couple. This means that if you look back, has your business allowed you to buy a nice house, multiple cars, vacations, private school, and basically a really comfortable living? Well, if that business has provided for the family and increased your assets, then you have to consider that there is value to the business, at least in the eyes of your spouse and the court. So how a valuation analyst treats the significance of the owner becomes a very important issue. And this is why one of the things the expert will review in the course of the valuation is the owner's salary. There are various cases in each state that specifically deal with compensation and a concept called double dip, which is actually a really complex issue in valuation. And it's probably better saved for another conversation. But many times we can incorporate the reliance on that owner in two different ways. One, in the cash flow of the business, or the risk that that cash flow will continue. Take, for example, you have a business owner who makes $250,000 net profit in the business, but pays themselves no salary. They just distribute the cash as necessary for living expenses. Now, if we think the business is worth 4 times profit, then this would be 4 times $250,000 is $1 million, right? Now remember, since this person takes no salary, all of the profit flows to the bottom line. Now in the state of Missouri and many other states, we have to consider the concept called fair market value as the standard of value in a divorce. Fair market value is the value of the business with a willing buyer and a willing seller. This means what is the value of the business to someone who has no knowledge of the industry but would come in and start to operate this company. You know, like basically somebody off the street. For example, if the judge bought this business, how much money would he make and what would he pay for the cash flows? Maybe the new owner would have to hire a manager or CEO to run the business, or a salesperson, or several people. So that might mean that the new operator would have to replace the one business owner with 1 or 2 people, depending upon how much that business owner is involved in the business. So this is where reasonable compensation could be a valuation adjustment in the income statement. The valuation expert would need to add this additional expense, which reduces profit. So let's say that same business owner who is making $250,000 of net profit at the business level should have been paying him $200,000. So now we only have $50,000 left, and the value of the business is only $200,000, or 4 times that $50,000. It's not the million because we had no cost for the owner. and we didn't really have any salary for somebody to replace that owner. So this is kind of the issue of the double dip. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe this business is a pass-through entity or sole proprietorship where the owner doesn't take a salary. The valuation person still typically has to consider a salary to the owner as a pseudo replacement value and adjust the valuation accordingly. This deals with the cash flow, but what about the risk? There could also be increased risk because of owner dependency or key man issues, which reduces value. Typically, these adjustments don't necessarily result in the company having no value, but the value is reduced when taking into consideration the effects of this reliance upon the owner. Again, thinking you as the business owner can just go into court and testify that the business relies upon you and then claim that it is worth nothing without you is a very risky proposition. The judge could look at all the other stuff that you've accumulated and think you are just trying to kind of screw over your spouse. So, are there times when you take out a salary and there is no profit left and therefore no value to the business? Sure, this can happen. But your testimony alone is not going to get you there. Work with a business valuation expert to understand the reality of the situation and how the expert can show the compensation or owner dependency issues in a way that supports your reality, but does it within the constructs of valuation theory and in a way that will stand up to the scrutiny of the judge in the court. So now, I'm considering filing for divorce, but I want to be prepared. What should I do next? Give us a call. No, really. You should reach out to somebody who specializes in valuations for the purpose of divorce. There may be valuation companies near you, but do they understand the divorce court system in your state? That would be a good first question to ask. Then see how many times they've testified. Are they trained as a mediator? Do they understand how to negotiate these settlements with other experts? Well, if you have any additional questions or you want to talk about your specific situation, give us a call at 314-541-8163 or check out our website at valuationstlouis.com.